And you know what? I may have made a mistake here, and somebody in the comments is probably going to tell me I did. Hello everybody, welcome back to the cabin. Welcome back to Commonwealth Flipper. You may or may not remember this from the last video. I said we're filming 2 videos, so this is actually probably over 1 or 2 day stretch here. I've got a different shirt on, but I assure you it's the same day. We had so many sales. I'm like, and I'm getting out of town a little bit here, and I'm like, we're gonna do 2 videos in the same day because we had 40 some sales, had a few more come in. We're gonna talk about those sales, including a $400 sale plus shipping. Really excited about this one. I don't think, actually, you know what? This one has aired. I think it's aired. Now, on the Picker channel, it has aired for sure. I just put this video out. And a couple more videos to come. You're going to see some more 127 sales. But I've got a couple more topics as well. One of them has to do with a definite way that you can fail on eBay. There's a common theme that I get in the messages from people who are giving up and people that are struggling, and I want to talk about that a little bit as well. Let's take a look. Before we get to that topic, we're going to do 3 or 4 sales as we always do. USS John F. Kennedy hat right there. And look, these things can be out there everywhere. Don't get fooled. You want to find the ones that are true vintage, not the ones that are being reproduced, sold at flea markets and whatnot. And AJD, there you go. Made in USA. It's an old one for sure. Made in USA on the snapback as well. That would take a long time to sell some of these, by the way, because it takes the right buyer, right? And so I'm glad somebody's grabbing that. I don't think it's a viewer, but I'm glad somebody's grabbing that one right there. USS John F. Kennedy reminds me of all these things that we sold on the last video and the space program in the 60s. So anyway, that one sold for $19 plus shipping. Next one I thought was to a viewer because they left a message, but sometimes people leave a message and they're not viewers. Ironically, the name is Jacqueline, which is funny, right after we sold that John F. Kennedy hat. And it was the double cola, and now that I walk by here, there's 2 double colas, so I don't know which one sold. I'm gonna grab this one, and then we'll go check out the picture. But that sold for $24 plus shipping, I think is what it sold for. Now I gotta go make sure it's the right one. And alas, it is not the right one. Of course not. Murphy's Law, right? I'm gonna grab this. Probably gonna put 2 USPS shoe boxes together to ship this one, is my guess. Anyway, it'll stay under the 24-inch extra rate thing. All right, this is a first-time buyer, which is, well, you get a kick out of this. So I've had this message a few times this year, and here it is. Please, it just cracks me up that they send this to me on here, like I'm the one delivering it, right? Please leave packaged product at the back door on the brick patio. Thank you, Jacqueline. I'll be sure to do that for you when I drop it off. I sold a VHS lot. I bought these a while back off of Whatnot, believe it or not. I bought them off of Chernox Connection. And I sold a few of them off independently that sold for pretty decent money and put the rest in a lot together. And they sold for, I think, $29 plus shipping. I think that went to a viewer too. Well, I thought it went to a viewer. I've been scrolling. There's no message on the purchase, but I know I saw a message on there. But y'all, it gets lost in the regular messaging system. There's just so many. Open Road Resale is the name of the store, and Tara is the name. So Tara, hopefully you enjoy that. I'm sure there's a message out there, and I apologize. I just can't find it. All right, y'all, here is the next sale. I'm excited about this one. Made a bunch of money on this. I'll try to give you an estimate of how much. You saw this in a Commonwealth Picker video just, I don't know, a few days ago maybe. And I'm excited about this sale. It is some Rushton rubber-faced dolls. And you know what? I may have made a mistake here. And somebody in the comments is probably going to tell me I did. And I'll explain how I priced them. So you see these tags. Just because it has a tag doesn't mean it's new. But I did put with tags pre-owned. Because clearly they're pre-owned. I mean, they're from the 70s, for goodness sake. And there was no exact comps. I saw these at the sale. I picked them up. I'm like, sweet. The lady came over. And she's like, I'm going to put them right here for now. She's like, oh, I haven't priced these out. And she went to eBay to price them out. Well, she couldn't find a comp. And so she put a price on them using something similar. Rushton sold these like hobo-looking things with cigars and like clowns and stuff. And they would go for, anywhere between, $50 and $150. I don't know where I'm going to put this. I'm going to put it in the chair. Each. And, for brand new ones, or not brand new, but in great condition ones. And so she said 85 bucks. couple people I was with, they're like, oh, I don't know if you should get that $85. I'm like, no way, I'm grabbing them for sure. Rushton from the 70s, so they're not the 50s ones. Some of these Rushton rubber faces can go for huge money, but from the 70s, not so much. But I grabbed these because they had the tags, because there was a pair, and I'm like, I don't know what to price them at. $85. I decided finally on the price. I decided on $400. And I think I probably went low. I thought I was going high, so I took similar items of similar height from a similar era, and I looked at the best examples, and then I went up $100 because it would have been about $150 a piece, so $300 total for two. Then I went up $100, and I thought I was doing the right thing, and they sold in an hour and a half, and I had another offer for $350. So if I had to do it all over again, I would at least put $500 on them. Who knows what they're worth? I don't know. I'm really happy about the profit, though. It's pretty cool. Using round numbers, here's a really quick look at how much I think I'm going to make off of these after we pay the cost, the fees, and the shipping. $268 profit on those. Those are going to go to Utah, and those are going to go UPS, and they are going to get a little extra insurance. I'm going to make that investment. I don't know, usually $200 is the point where I start thinking about it. Anything less than that, I usually don't insure it. Next is a pair of shoes, some Converse, and they're kid size. I don't know what size right offhand, but they sold for $13 plus shipping. But this leads in perfectly to one of the topics I want to talk about today. And Cheryl says, hi, Kevin. Had to buy these Converse for myself after I found the mistake in the listing. I'll have to tell Carrie and Dave, American Arbitrage NC Picker, NC Flipper, about it now, meaning they'll be happy to know I made a mistake, because apparently they always make mistakes. So I make mistakes all the time. She says, only amputee I know is our cat Raven, who looks like Pepper. She says she watches both channels and the Trashed Cash podcast as well. I've learned so much from you and many others in this awesome resale community. My store is doing well, but my next purchase will be an Animan. She says, blessings to you and your family. Cheryl, Shiny Squirrel, eBay, YouTube, and more. P.S. I still want the Def Leppard tee. Can't have it. All right, so obviously this wasn't a mistake that I made, but I'm well aware that I make tons and tons of mistakes. And I always keep those stories, especially when you have somebody who's working for you a little bit, like Bubba's girlfriend is. You know, it's much easier to take criticism if the person who's criticizing you is willing to admit their failures. And I do it all the time. This is a technique used as a teacher. Well, most people use this technique at some point. As a baseball coach, I used it all the time. I actually used to have a quote that I would say all the time, and it reminds me of all the messages I get from people constantly making excuses why they can't sell things on eBay. And sometimes it'll be an attack on me. Well, you know, half your sales are to viewers or whatever, which it's not half, but if you watch the show, it's a growing number. It certainly is over 25% at this point. But that doesn't mean that other people can't sell on eBay. And people look for excuses out there when things aren't going well. You know, and when things didn't go well for a student of mine or on my baseball team, when I was the coach in a high school for 2 decades, I used to always bring this out of the back of my mind, and I would say, you know what, success has many parents, but failure is an orphan. It is human nature when things aren't going the way that we want it to point fingers at everybody else. And a lot of times I get that, you know, by being on YouTube. But it happens all the time, and it's not just about me being on YouTube. A lot of times people will send me messages and say, eBay's doing this, and eBay's doing that, and eBay's... Look, eBay's not perfect. I'm not perfect. You're not perfect. eBay is not perfect, and there's a lot of things I criticize them for, a lot of things I think they can get better with, but there's always going to be problems on whatever platform you're selling on. Doesn't matter. It could be eBay, could be anywhere. Could be the flea market, for goodness sake. Somebody have a problem with parking at the flea market, or they don't sell enough this, and there's not enough traffic because of that. There's always an excuse. People that are easy to come up with an excuse, people that are easy to point fingers, you know, I'm not going to say, oh, you screwed this thing up and we're going to lose this much money. She's going to make mistakes. I've made hundreds of mistakes over the years. She's going to make more mistakes than me because she hasn't been doing it as long. I'm pretty impressed with how few she does make. And we can always get better, and that's the point here. Stop pointing fingers at everybody else, everything else, as things go wrong, and maybe if we're introspective, we can figure out ways to maybe hustle harder, work around problems, make more money somehow, some way, in spite of all the challenges that present themselves to us as resellers. Next item I took an offer on. Looks like it's the 40th anniversary of Liberty University football, and it's deflated. I didn't even pump it up. And it was $20. I think I took an offer for $15 plus shipping. And just one more point. It's not that we can't complain about something. It's not that we can't give constructive criticism to eBay. eBay could improve in many, many facets. It's about those people who use that stuff as a crutch so that it's okay for them to fail. I think the biggest step, the biggest thing we can always do in life in general to move forward is to just admit to ourselves when we've made a mistake, when we could do something better. It's actually pretty freeing, right? You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to be on guard. You don't have to always be portraying to the world that you don't make mistakes. I make tons of mistakes all the time. I try to admit them on here. Sometimes I don't because I have to fix them, you know, a day or two later when we're not on camera or something. But I made a mistake on a pair of shoes the other day. The exact same mistake that she made, except for I didn't put amputee. I just had the size off by 2 sizes. I forgot to change it in the title. I changed it in the description. So, I mean, people make mistakes. It's gonna happen, and just gotta be able to move on. One thing I absolutely love to pick up is these mini coolers here. But I tell you, they are really slow sellers, which ought to be proven by the fact that it's behind this right here. Shout out Brian Klaus. I gotta get this down. This is the one I sold right here. I only buy them if they're dirt cheap or if they're cool colors. And that little Rubbermaid cooler right there sold for $12 plus shipping. But I'm gonna grab it without this in my hands because I don't want to drop that thing. Next one I think was a viewer because I had mentioned this the other day. And you may have sent me a message and it was not on the purchase, so I apologize. James and Robin, but I could not locate it. And hopefully I'm giving you a thank you here. I'm pretty sure your viewer bought this. This is the last of those Time magazines. Hadn't sold 3 of them in forever, and then all of a sudden they all sell in the same week. So thank you all for that. December 27th, 1948. That one's pretty cool. The night before Christmas. Thank you very much. $7.99 plus shipping. The next one, I definitely don't want my wife to find out that they sold because I gave her grief about hiding these things from me in our other car, the one I haven't driven in a while. It's like a backup car, garage sale car. Sometimes, you know, you fill a car up and you got to go do something else and you got all the kids and you can't do this. It's, you know, it's our oldest car. I think it's got 275,000 miles on it. And so every once in a while, we'll just use it as extra storage. And she tried to hide them from, well, I accused her of trying to hide it from me. I don't know, maybe she's just clearing out space to put the kids in the back of her car. Because she went, of course, to Goodwill and bought a bunch of stuff. And I'm like, you didn't even tell me. It was like 2 weeks later and I finally saw them. I can't grab this one. Maybe I can. Hold on. Put it on the ground. And she bought most of these for like $1 a piece. I think the most was like $2.99. And this one right here sold for $45 plus shipping. It is creepy looking too. Look at that thing. Holy moly. Any rate, as soon as she knows that's sold, she probably already knows. She'll be like, see, told you so. She made all of her money back, plus more. Plus there's another one over there. She's gonna do really, really well on this lot. She'll make probably a couple $100 from it when it's said and done. Our Turner has a homeschool Hustler store sale. What in the world? What do you think that's from? It's a Disney Vinylmation. What Disney movie do you think that's from? Not SpongeBob. That's not Disney. I know that's what you're thinking. What Disney movie has somebody like that? What's the guy's name in SpongeBob? Do you remember his name?
What name? Who?
What's the guy's name in SpongeBob? The god of the sea.
King Neptune.
King Neptune, right?
Hmm.
Well, Poseidon was the Greek name. Neptune was the Roman name. And in Little Mermaid, what?
There is a King Poseidon in SpongeBob.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Really? In the movie.
Oh, in the movie?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm not that familiar with it. But it's Neptune, right? In the rest of it. So, anyway, that guy right there is King Triton from Little Mermaid. And they get the name from the little symbol he's holding right there. That's called a trident. Tri means 3. Like in baseball, if you get 3 bases, it's called a triple.
Triple.
any rate. Or if you ride a bike with 3 wheels, it's called a tricycle. Tri means 3. All right, there's your lesson. $8 plus shipping on that one. Just enough for you to do what?
Save $1, spend $1, and donate $1. Bye.
Hey, sold an NWO sticker. What do you know? One of those things they just keep selling down to 17 in here. And I think we might have an announcement though coming up on these, so we'll see. So $10, and that one went to a viewer, as about 50% of them do. Went to Kenneth. Hi, Kevin. I'm a part-time reseller up in Albany, New York, and just wanted to say thank you. Your videos have been my education into this industry. I am forever grateful. Would love if you could sign the decal, and I'll hang it next to my eBay shelves in the basement. Continued health and success. I'll do that right now for you. You know, at the Trash to Cash event, whoa, a bottle almost fell on me back there, y'all. On that Trash to Cash event, people had me signing Tupperware lids. So this is so slick, I don't know if it's going to stick on there. So, Plus, when you peel them off, I don't know what to do. I'll tell you what, I'll sign it right here. See if it sticks. Sign it on back. Right there as well. And of course, we always throw in a card as well. So thank you very much for the purchase. We appreciate it. I sold some of these locks back here, B60 and 613. They said to be able to check on here to make sure that there are 3 different types of keys. I'm gonna have to go through all 3 of those and figure that out. But there's 3 of these that sold $60, like 59 and change, plus shipping on those 3. And I'll have to check for key codes because they want to make sure they were different. So I'm sure there's some way I can tell on here for sure. I just don't know what it is. So I'll have to look at the individual keys, I think. In case the person complains, I want to have video evidence here. It's like a fingerprint that these keys, well, it's not going to show up very well, is it? Are different. I went through and tested them out, and they're definitely all 3 different. But there were some, the first 2 I pulled out were identical, and I had to go take one back and find one that was different. So all 3 are going to be different, so hopefully this person doesn't complain. All right, Reagan's got, I like that hat, Reagan. Did a hat sell?
Yes. Actually.
And we've been selling these too. I think I'm going to start reading the Enema Men comments in the eBay cave like I used to for the anime. Does that sound good to you, Sophie? Huh? Does that sound good to you? See you scratching an itch? Huh? All right. What? Just a couple sales because we already did some today and we're filming the second one today with the rest of the video. So what do you got?
Jessica got the hat. Tracy got a CWP. Oh, wait. We already did her. Thomas. No. Tamara.
Too many T's.
Commonwealth Pickers sticker.
Yeah.
And table plans. And John got table plans too.
Okay, that's good. And one of them is a shipper, so we have to ship the plans. If you don't tell us anything, we just email it to you. So you got to ask for that, right? Yeah. And where do they find? Well, let's just do it this way. It cracks me up, Reagan. I still get messages a couple times a week. Where do we buy your stickers? Or where do we buy your hats? Or where do we buy your whatever, T-shirts, you know, Enema Men, all that stuff. And the answer is always the same, right?
Don't forget to get your sticker at CommonwealthPicker.com.
All right, for those of you who've been around the show for a while, you know we used to have a stack of Grateful Dead CDs in here. We literally had 1,000 of them that we bought from the Goodwill for a penny a piece, and we were selling them just sell. And we sold all of them. It took a long time, and a lot of viewers bought them, and these are the type of items, these ET pins here, and jewelry that people have just latched onto and bought, and over half so far, although I'm not sure about all these. 2 of these, well, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2 of these 5 sales are to viewers for sure. I think that's it, though. And they're selling like crazy. Thank you to Ivan. Shout out to Ivan every time we sell one of these guys here. So, E.T. right there. That one is just a pin. That is pretty cool. And these are all separate sales. I always say E.T. and Drag right there. That's a great scene. And then Elliot and E.T. right there. These are all selling. I think this one sells for like $6 plus shipping. And these are $7 plus shipping, I think. Sold another one here. And by the way, Nick and Tracy are the 2 viewers. And at the end of the show or after this, we'll go out. We'll do Reagan's bit. And we're going to read your comments a little later. I brought these in here. They're actually out in the cabin. And I brought them in here because back in the day when we'd have a particular item that would sell over and over to viewers, we usually did it in here and I would read the comments. I used to look up there at the computer and people were like, what are you looking at? And we might start doing that with the Enema Men too, now that the sales for those have died down. We were selling so many. We've sold, I mean, I don't even know. We're in the 500s at this point for these guys, for the blue ones. We've sold probably 2,500 of these guys right here. So if you're new to the show, there's a video about it. It used to be a thing, and they're Enema Men, plush enemas, and they supposedly get your eBay store moving. You get the point. So at any rate, Elliot again, and this one's Gertie. Again, these two sold together. I think that was one of the viewer sales. Then this reminds me of something, because I don't think this was a viewer. It might have been, I'm not sure. But I saw a message saying, hey, will you refund the shipping, the excess shipping, which we will. And by the way, if you're a viewer and I actually forgot somebody's last week, I forgot to refund the excess in shipping. And usually if people ask, or sometimes on something obvious like this, we'll do it. If it's, you know, clearly, I mean, we're going to ship all this stuff together first class, and the shipping's like $3.30 something each. So if I ever forget, send me a kind little email and I will definitely go back and do that. Hate it, but sometimes you just get caught up in stuff. So ET earrings, Gertie earrings, and then all the pins we just talked about. So that's a pretty good, I mean, 5 of those things right there. That's pretty good. I'll take that for sure. Thank you very, very much to all of the viewers who have bought these, although I don't think this is, but Nick and Tracy, I think it is. Nick has a great message. Y'all got to hear this. It's pretty amazing. So thank y'all, and we're going to head back outside, and we'll read those in just a minute. I said I was going to read Nick's message when I was in there, so here it is. He says, hey man, big fan of your channels. He just started selling, been collecting for a few years now, but now it's time to sell. I'm having a blast. I just started selling, and my first auction ended the day that my mom passed away, and I can't imagine. And the next day, I had 5 packages to ship. It was hard, but I got it done with positive feedback. I lost her a week ago tomorrow, and your channels have been my escape when I wanted to grab something, and I wanted to grab something from you, Nick. So Nick, thank you so much. Let me see if I can see. It's Cash, spelled with a K. Cash's dad loves toys. Cash's dad loves toys. Took me a while to read that one, Nick. So I'm so sorry for your loss, and I can't imagine going through those kind of difficulties. Somebody got a story like that out there that they want to share, where, you know, maybe you could give eBay up, you know, give them a call and say, hey, this is what happens, and, you know, you had to leave town or something. I'm curious to see if eBay works with people like that. I would like to think that they would, but you just, you know, you just don't know. But, you know, kudos to you for going through with that. I don't know that I could. Matter of fact, I'm certain I couldn't, but very impressive. So sorry for your loss, and I appreciate the support very much. And I almost forgot about Tammy's message as well. She said, E.T. came out when I was in high school, and it was the first movie that I paid to see multiple times. Saw it 6 times. That is awesome. Says she loves watching the family. Your videos are informative and entertaining. I have been on eBay since 2002. That's right about when I started out. I started, I think, 2001, although I had a different store name back then. And hopefully go full-time when I retire. That is awesome. See if I can pronounce. I don't know if I can pronounce this name here. The store. Tarantulas Trinkets. Is that right? Okay. Thanks again for all you do. So thank you very much, and thank you to everybody out there. Don't forget to go by and check out Garage Sale Nation Facebook group for information for Uncle Mark's garage sale. Thank you to our sponsors, MyResellerGenie.com. Use code Commonwealth if you want a discount, as well as Yardaroo and BadCatCoffee.com. Thank you all so much for joining us. I can't wait to see you next.